Get that merch. You know what I'm saying? Back with another podcast. At the end of the day, today we're talking about fear versus reality, and also the war on freedom. Just to get into it, fear. And a couple examples is, when you see a big dog, for a lot of you, that's fear. You see a needle, just at the very sign of it, that's fear. Something burning, maybe you smell it, maybe it gets to you, just the scent of it, smoke scent, that's fear to you. An explosion, something that you know is about to go off, any type of explosion is something definitely is going to create fear. Gunshots, something that's close, something that's maybe even far away. You hear those shots, instant fear. Something that you maybe doing something you've never done before for the first time. Even in those cases, a little bit of fear there. Now, the definition, and I want to make sure we get the correct, we're going to use it as a noun. Definition of fear is an unpleasant emotion caused by the belief that someone or something is dangerous, likely to cause pain or a threat. And I mean, for a lot of us, it's different things. I try not to practice it myself, but a lot of things that may jump out and cause these type of feelings amongst you. Fear, that's what that is. They've even tried to define it, or maybe a different level of fear, and it's called anxiety, which is a feeling of worry, nervousness, or unease, typically about an imminent event or something with an uncertain outcome. And I mean, to me, that's still fear, but again, under the definition of anxiety, which they try to say a lot of people have or suffer from. So you got fear leading into anxiety, which, worry is basically the natural progression, because it's, again, just a level of fear. And worry is to give way to anxiety or unease, allow one's mind to dwell on difficulty or troubles. So the more you linger on it, it goes from just being fear, the initial, all the way to getting worried, and then sit there dwelling on it. Now, fear versus reality, because all that is predicated upon something actually happening, because fear is just the imminent, the thought behind something actually occurring. Now, the reality is the world or the state of things as they actually exist, as opposed to an idealistic or national idea of them. So there you go again. You got the what if versus the what is, because a lot of things that they try to create as far as being a fear tactic is just that versus reality, which is nothing a lot of times. Gotta be able to have the discernment to tell the difference between the two. I think all that, especially the tool of fear, is used to have a war on our freedom. Because when you look at it, the powers that be, they like to rule or order out of chaos. And you don't believe me? Just look at the back of a dollar. It's on every one of them. And that's the message. Just goes to show you right there that they just put it right in front of you, show exactly what they're about. But not only that, just, ruling out of order. Just, basically ruling out of fear. The more they're able to plant these seeds in your mind of things that could happen. And, out of fear, you go ahead and give away some of your rights. And ultimately, those are your freedoms. If you want to know what the definition of freedom is, the power or right to act, speak, or think as one wants without hindrance or restraint. And look at the media. You don't have freedom if everything that you basically regurgitate is from the media. You don't have freedom, because basically you get your freedom from them. they tell you it's a privilege. So, you know, it's for the, you can speak, depends on who's listening. Some people may not even hear what you got to say. And that's not real freedom, because you don't have a privilege to speak to them. You know, not in that manner where they're actually listening to you, to take heed to what you're saying. That's not real freedom. You know, name me somebody of authority that you can just go up to and, you know, give them your idea and they're going to sit down and talk to you. You know, you're going to have to schedule a meeting with the person that checks in with them, that checks in with somebody else. I mean, you're not going to talk to them. Now, just a couple examples, even that there's certain places that you don't even have the right to talk. I mean, some of them are understandable. Everybody can't get their point across at the same time. So, you know, if you're in the library, there's people in there studying and, you know, reading books. You're in there being loud. Of course, that's going to kind of not be the place for that. But that's just an example of where you got to go and you have the right, but you have to kind of tone it down. Courtroom, you ain't talking in there. That's a charge in itself. So another example of, you know, you can talk, but, you know, nobody ain't trying to be that loud, because, you know, you ain't gonna get really dealt with accordingly. Or maybe you will get dealt with accordingly. Church, you know, you don't want to speak out of line, speak out of turn. So yet again, you can talk. It's just the time and place for it. And as far as this, the war itself on the freedom is, you know, what you can say and what you can't say. I mean, again, it shouldn't really matter who's, you know, what you say, just as far as who's listening. No one's listening to you, then you might not even really want to say much. Be talking to yourself. Also, when it comes to freedom, there's 3 types of freedom. One is freedom from, you know, one is freedom to, and one is freedom to be. And examples of that is like freedom from is like freedom from the constraints of society. Freedom to is freedom to do what we want to do. And freedom to be is not just to, you know, want, but to be free, like be who you were meant to be. A lot of times people want you to be like them. You know, it's okay if you do certain things that they've done, which kind of boxes you in a certain type of freedom as well. But again, these are just examples where you're free, but there's, to a certain extent, there's somebody that's over you, that's checking in to make sure that you don't go overboard with this freedom, you know, which is there real freedom? Maybe only in Christ. Man, this was a good one. I mean, if you agree, just let me know in the comment section. Let me know what I like. You know, try to get back to the posting scene. Don't really get to post all the time, so I'm gonna try to make it count when I do. More videos to come. Want to get in the regular habit of being back online and making sure everybody that's, you know, stay focused, know that the end is near. Try to keep your freedom. Guys say the same. I'll be back in another video.